Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Live Coffee Talk. So, this is a show about love, courage, and connection. And I can't tell you how much connection that I have made during the pandemic. And they're just so amazing, powerful. And I think you started to notice that a lot of things that we do it together. What do I mean by that? So like energy attracts like energy. So you'll notice that as you're going out there and you start doing things, you're going to attract a lot of people with a similar type of energy that really are drawn to you, and you are drawn to them. So everything that they do and everything they said, it's just so resonating with you. You just want to spend more time with them. And today I am so happy that I get to invite one of my many connections during the pandemic, and Elyse Preston. She is an abundance coach and human design guide based in Baltimore, Maryland. She supports visionary change makers to experience more energetic well-being so that they can increase their self-understanding and social impact. And the key modality that she uses are yoga, mindfulness, and human design. For more details, you have to check her out, bemoreconnected.net. And there's something that she and I are doing really exciting that's coming up next week. I don't want you to miss it. So you gotta stay until the end because we're gonna share that little tiny present that we have for you. All right. So without further ado, I'd like to bring her onto the screen because you need to meet her and you're gonna love her energy. Hi, Elyse.
Hi, Michelle. I'm so excited to be diving into our conversation today.
I am so thrilled to have you here. And we did the initial connection call and then into interview, and now I have you on the show. I'm just liking you very much, obviously.
Yes, and I feel the same from the first time that we had a chance to connect over Zoom. And it is wild, like even in these virtual spaces, how we are able to connect with each other's energy and feel that level of resonance and just like instant magnetism.
So beautiful. So I want to learn more about you because I think last time we talked, it was all of you asking me questions.
Yes.
So it's my turn because I'm really curious how you became an abundance coach and human design.
Yes. And just sharing a bit about my journey and my background. So I actually started out my career in the nonprofit and youth development space. And so I spent about 5 or 6 years working with education-based organizations in Baltimore and in DC. And on the one hand, I feel so grateful for that experience and really feel like I learned so much about myself. I was able to connect with some amazing community members and work on projects that I was passionate about. But I was also very challenged in that space and experienced a lot of burnout, stress, and overwhelm in my physical body. But then also from more of the mental, intellectual space, I was experiencing just a lot of frustration with some of the ways in which the organizations that I was working within were very disconnected from the community's expressed needs and desires. And at a certain point, I was wondering, I was like, are we really helping? Or are we just replicating other kinds of harmful structures or systems that aren't really getting to the core and the root of the challenges that we're seeing in our communities and in our world? And so when I started to experience that level of like, just burnout in my own body, frustration within my own mind, that's when I was just getting curious and knew that something needed to shift, something needed to change. And for me, a big turning point for me was making the decision to really invest in myself through investing in a yoga teacher training certification, and also really exploring like where were the communities and places and spaces where I could be surrounded by people who shared similar values and who were excited about being able to not just continue to operate in some of the kind of old paradigm ways, but wanted to shift things up and do things different and have a visionary perspective about things. And so stepping into the 10-month yoga teacher training experience that I was a part of was really transformational for me, because I had the opportunity to be poured into by different teachers and mentors, but also was able to spend so much time just getting acquainted with myself and really unwinding some of the unhealthy ways that I had been operating in terms of just being in this like go mode and hustle and grind and overgiving and not listening into the signs and signals that I was receiving from my own body. And so having that time carved out in my life for that 10 months where I was understanding more about the nervous system, the body, the mind, the breath, and just having that intentional space for me to be connecting in with my spiritual practice as well. That was also when I discovered the system of human design and was just floored by the accuracy and the level of resonance that I felt when I first started unpacking my own human design chart and understanding some of the wisdom that lived there, and just felt like it gave me so many incredible tools for giving and just providing clear language to contextualizing and understanding things that I've always kind of felt at a subtle level, but didn't quite have the words or the language to express. And as someone who is very empathic, energetically sensitive, this system just felt like such an incredible framework and like an aha moment and a powerful tool for understanding myself, but also being able to understand and relate to other people in my world. And yes, I could not get enough, like had to go down the rabbit hole and explore all the books, all the podcasts, wanted to read, start tapping into reading charts for my friends and my family and my siblings. And it just became something that kind of took over my life in a way, because I was just so in love with it. And so initially I was just sharing human design as a tool with people that I was already connected with. But after I finished my yoga teacher certification, I started teaching some community yoga classes and holding some sister circles. That was giving me the fuel to really start seeing myself as a teacher and a facilitator and a space holder. And it was only once people started to really reflect back to me how helpful and supportive some of the just like tips and guidance and readings that I was sharing with them in a casual way, like how supportive it was for them, that I wanted to take that extra step of doing a human design reader training and being able to really infuse human design and energetic well-being in all of the ways that I was supporting people.
Mm-hmm. I think that journey that you have just described is so amazing. And I think a lot of people think about entrepreneurship or business, having a business. They think about things that's a journey for what they do, what they can do for the clients. Mm-hmm. But in reality, a lot of time, if you think about it, entrepreneurship is really a journey about our self-discovery. Yes. Like you started to learn so much about yourself, rather than the fact that you have the ability to help others. And helping others is just something that came along with it, but in reality it's really about that self-discovery, that self-identity you start to explore, and more of it will come out.
Yes, it really did start there first for me. It was that deep self-discovery journey. And then I was just like so hungry and craving to share it with others.
Yeah. So I want to, I know a lot of viewers and listeners, they are really curious about human design. And I can tell you that I did I think there's the founder, I can't pronounce his name.
Yes. Ra Uruhu.
Okay, Ra Uruhu. So I actually went onto his website. I had the book, I went through the chart, and the chart looks really complicated.
It's very complex.
Because it connects to different parts of your body, and there's like the sacral area, the crown area. And so I can tell you that I'm a generator. That's how much I know.
Sure. Yes. Well, I would be happy to just, share a little introduction to the system and the energetics and maybe like walk us through the 5 energy types.
I would love that. Yes, take it away.
Yes. And so human design is a synthesis of a number of different ancient wisdom traditions and like a little bit of modern science sprinkled in. And so the founder, as you were sharing, his name is Ra Uruhu. He actually channeled this spiritual system, and it's relatively new on the planet. It was only channeled in 1987, I believe, so late 80s. But it brings together the Hindu chakra system, the Chinese I Ching, the Tree of Life in Kabbalah, and some Eastern and Western astrology. It also brings in like some quantum mechanics and quantum physics as well. And so when we take our own unique birth information, exact date, time, and location of birth, and plug it into the human design software, it's pulling from all of these wisdom traditions to be able to create your unique human design chart. And as you shared, Michelle, when you first are taking a look at that chart, it can feel a little bit overwhelming because it is complex and layered and nuanced and brings together so much powerful information. But what you're really taking a look at, what you see when your human design chart populates for you, and you can start to explore it. It's essentially providing you with a blueprint and a map of your own energetic DNA. And it provides you with really powerful information about how you are best designed to exchange energy with the world around you, make decisions, connect and relate to others, how you're designed to innately tap into your own intuition and decision-making process. And it's such a powerful tool because it takes a lot of the guesswork out of understanding how we operate as spiritual and energetic beings, and just gives us some really grounded tools and language and things to start experimenting with and trying out and testing in our own lives. And so I also really love to be able to provide people with a little bit of like the context and understanding for what it means to be a spiritual and energetic being. Because when we're in our very, tangible 3D world, right? We have our physical body that we can touch and that we can feel and that we can see. But the system of human design is really grounded into this philosophy that in addition to our physical body that we can touch and see, that each and every one of us carries with us an energy body that extends around us about 3 to 6 feet in all directions. So it's something that we can't usually see with our naked eye, but it is something that is deeply and profoundly felt as we move through the world. And that our energy body also experiences and bumps up against others and their energy bodies. And having the lens and the framework and the tool of human design can be so supportive with helping us to experience more flow, more resonance, more connectivity in the ways that our soul is designed to experience, and also how to navigate certain challenges where there may be some tension or some pushback or some friction or resistance, because everything in the world is energy, everything. So even things that seem very solid, right? Like this phone, if we were to observe it under a very high-powered microscope, all we would be able to see is particles of light radiating at different frequencies. And that's the same for us as well, that we are these complex, energetic beings. And when we know that, it can be just really supportive to not feel like we have to take things so personally or see things in a very like black or white or harsh way, but just know that there are these forces, these energetic forces at work in the universe, and exploring how we can work more in harmony with them, how we can work with them instead of working against them. And so, yes, to be able to drop in and, did you want to share another question?
I was gonna ask you because I know there's like different types.
Yes.
I'm like, I can't wait to go into these different types because there's like the generator, the manifestor, and there's generator, manifestor. Go, just go.
Oh, yes, yes. I would love to be able to go there and share more and see if there's any specific questions that you also have about the generator type, because that's the type that you embody. And so as I was describing that experience of all of us carrying with us an energy body that extends about 3 to 6 feet around us in all directions, that energy body or that aura is what we're talking about when we talk about the 5 different energy types. And so depending on what energy type you have, that gives you some powerful information about the wavelength, the pattern, the frequency of your unique type, of your unique aura. And so let's go ahead and start with generators, because that's your energy type, Michelle. And so generators make up about 33% of the population. And all generators have what's called an open and enveloping aura that draws life to you. And as a generator, the key energetic contributions that you're here to share with the world are to be able to really create and generate energy from within you, and to be able to share of that energetic overflow. And so people who are generators are folks who can sometimes be those like energizer bunnies, can be lit up, sparkly, are able to really contribute so much to projects that they're a part of, and just energetic exchanges with other people by being tapped into, plugged into what lights them up, being tapped into their creativity and their desires. And for each and every energy type, each type has a particular strategy, how their type is designed to most optimally exchange energy with the world around them. And for you as a generator, your energy center, that it's so important for you to be building that like really connective relationship with, is your sacral center. Because for all of us, our sacral center in human design is described as like our energy generating motor. And so when you have this open and enveloping aura that draws life into you, it's really important for you to be able to drop out of the mind and into the body and build this connective relationship with the sacral, to understand what are the things that are being drawn to your field that genuinely and authentically light you up, that elicit this sense of, yes, activation and desire, that feel like a yes for you. Because when you actually give yourself permission to tune into those things and say yes to those things, that's when your energy generating motor is able to be turned on and activated, and you're able to create lots of beautiful energy that can help you to be more sustained, and you can also share of that energy with others. But as a generator, if you are feeling like you always have to go out and chase and hustle and initiate, or if you're feeling as though you are saying yes to things that actually feel like a no for you, or saying no to the things that light you up and feel like a yes, that's when your sacral or your energy generating motor gets frustrated and gets confused and doesn't allow you to actually be energized in the natural, like beautiful, flowy way that you're designed to, that your body and your soul would love to. And so as a generator, some of the key things to keep in mind are, how can you be really tuning in with yourself to understand your needs, your wants, your desires, your likes, your dislikes, so that you're operating from that aligned place? And how can you set more healthy energetic boundaries so that you're not feeling compelled to leak or drain your energy in places that aren't in alignment for you? Because when you are saying yes to you, and when you are doing the things that really activate your aliveness and your desire, that's when you can be of greatest benefit to everyone around you.
Everything, yes, yes, yes. Like, and it's weird how you mentioned that the sacral area, right? Because a lot of time when I feel like I'm stuck on something, like the first thing I feel is my lower back. Like it was just that very dull pain or soreness to it, and that's how I know, like, okay, something's not right. I'm feeling tired, and that's usually where I know that, oh, I gotta do something to change.
Yes.
And typically it's because of stress, and I have a tendency to say yes to a lot of things. I'm like a yes woman.
Sure.
I say yes to everything. And then later I realize, hey, maybe this is not the right thing for me. And then I would decide, oh, how do I break it up with them?
Sure. Oh, yes. And I love that you made that mention of the body as well, because it is so true that our body does start to communicate with us and share these different little red flags and signs to let us know, like, hey, something's a little off here. Where do we need to adjust? Where do we need to redirect our energy? And as a generator, that's actually as you've described, like being a yes woman, really wanting to make yourself available to so many opportunities and connections. That is something that many generators experience. And so just knowing that you're not alone, and that because when you are lit up by life, you do have a lot of energy to offer and share. And that's so beautiful, like wanting to be able to be available and compassionate and connected is beautiful. But knowing that if you're doing that in a way where it is overgiving or overextending, that's when it starts to become unsustainable. And it sounds like you already have that conscious awareness about it. So it's just giving yourself that full permission to be discerning with your yeses.
I'm learning from the best. This is what I said earlier. The connection that you make is really important, because you definitely want to associate yourself with the people who, lift you up and actually elevate your own energy. And I think I learned from the best. I learned from you with the human design. I was like, oh, yes, she's a human design expert. So let me bring her out to the show. Because I'm just really fascinated by all these amazing things that people are doing. So
true.
So I don't want to take too much time, but I do want people to, because it's not just the generator, it's also the manifestor. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the manifestor, so we don't feel like, people don't feel like, wait, you only touch on generator.
Yes, but let's give a little high-level overview of each of the types, because there are 5 different energy types. So we talked about generators. We also have manifestors. And so manifestors are a bit more rare. They're only about 10% of the population. And their energetic contribution is really to be the visionaries, the trailblazers, the fire starters. They're here to get the ball rolling in a particular direction and kind of start movements for the rest of us. And manifestors actually have what's described as being one of the most large and kind of like impactful auras. When they enter a room or they enter a space, their aura is really profoundly felt, and they inherently have a powerful impact on others. And that's intentional, because they are here to be these beings who are visionary, who are getting things moving in a new kind of future looking direction. And for them, their key strategy is to inform. And so as a manifestor, because they are inherently so impactful, it supports their ability to connect with others and to maintain healthy and sustainable relationships if they are giving other people a heads up and informing them about the decisions that they're making and the actions that they're going to take. So manifestors are designed to be independent, to be self-certified, to act on their urges, to get things going in the world. So this is not about asking for permission or asking for validation from others, but it's simply about giving people a heads up, including them, letting them know what's going on, because that creates more of a level of ease and equanimity with other people around them, so that they're included in the forward movement, the impact, what's happening, where we're going, instead of just being inevitably impacted by it and then experiencing that level of uneasiness and that level of just maybe frustration or resentment for a manifestor who took action that impacted them without being included or being clued in. And for all manifestors, what they really deeply want to be experiencing, what they're desiring, is a level of peace, and to be able to do what they want when they want. And the way that they are able to do that is by using their strategy of informing. Then we have manifesting generators. And manifesting generators are really unique because they're actually considered to be a hybrid type. They contain some of the elements and aspects of the manifestor and the generator. Manifesting generators are also 33% of the population, and they have the same strategy as pure generators. For them, it's also super important for them to be building that connective relationship with the sacral, so that they're able to tune into and understand what is genuinely, authentically lighting them up, and saying yes to those things, and being able to have that discernment and set boundaries about things that feel neutral to them or feel like a no. That's what allows them to turn on their energy generating motor and create more energy for themselves and others. But what distinguishes a manifesting generator from a pure generator is that manifesting generators are actually here to be our very multi-passionate and multitasking beings. As a manifesting generator, this type actually feels more energized and more productive when they have multiple different creative outlets to be using their energy. And so sometimes it can be challenging as a manifesting generator because we experience a lot of conditioning in our society that tells us that you should pick one thing and pursue it to the point of mastery and have kind of this linear trajectory and path for your life. And that just doesn't feel good and doesn't work for manifesting generators. They want to be able to create and play and dabble and try on many different things and not necessarily pursue something to the point of mastery, to be able to pick up different skills and qualities and traits from a number of different experiences that genuinely and authentically light them up and are adding to their gifts, so that they can kind of look back on their journey and see that they've built out this beautiful, diverse body of work. But along the way, from their own view, but also from other people viewing their path, they might see their path as scattered or disorganized. But that's not true at all. It's actually that they're here to be these multi-passionate beings, and that they get to show us that life doesn't have to be so linear and logical, but that we get to create and play and forge and dabble in many different things. And that can be their recipe for success as well. Then we have projectors, and I'm actually a projector in human design. And projectors are about 20% of the population. And projectors have what's described as a very focused and absorbing aura. And projectors are able to really see into other people and see into systems and processes, and to be able to understand from a unique lens, from their own point of view, how things can really be improved and tweaked and modified and upgraded and up-leveled in ways that maybe aren't apparent or aren't quite as easy for other energy types to see, because they just don't see in the same kind of way. And so for all projectors, their strategy is to wait for recognition and invitation. And so what that means, this really only applies to how projectors are exchanging energy with others and sharing their projector seeing gifts with others. What this means is that as a projector, if you are seeing or sensing something that could possibly be improved or elevated or expanded, that it's really important for you to not be offering that advice in an unsolicited way or telling people what to do until that person has recognized you for your projector seeing gifts and invited you in to offer and share them. Because what can often happen as a projector is that even if you're coming from a really high vibe, supportive, nurturing place, when you're wanting to give others advice or guidance or sharing wisdom with them, if they haven't created the space within themselves to receive that guidance or wisdom, or if they are just not ready to take that in, it can really come off to the other person as though you're being bossy or trying to tell them what to do, or as if you know better. And so you're offering that wisdom up and it just completely falls flat for that other person, or it offends them, or they're not ready to take that energy in and integrate it or do anything with it. And so as a projector, that makes you feel bitter because you're like, oh, if they would just do the thing that I told them, everything would be so much smoother and easier for them. And so you get to be, again, as with all of our types, this level of discernment is so important. But for projectors, we get to be really discerning about who it is we offer our guidance and seeing gifts to. And noticing like who are the people that are specifically inviting us in to offer and share, who are the people that are recognizing our gifts, and being able to share that guidance in those places. Because when the invitation is present, then that person actually has created the space within themselves to receive that information. They're excited to take it in, they want to do something with it, and to be able to experience greater alignment and harmony and success from the wisdom that the projector has shared. And that is the most harmonious and the most supportive energy exchange between projectors and other people in their world. Then we have reflectors, and reflectors are super, super rare. They're only about 1% of the population. And what's really unique about a reflector and their human design chart is for all of the other energy types, when we take a look at their chart, when we take a look at their design, every other type has at least 2 energy centers that are colored in and defined. But when you look at a reflector's chart, all 9 of their energy centers are open and white. And that's a reflection of the fact that reflectors are the most open, the most energetically sensitive and absorbent of all of the 5 energy types. And they're literally here to be these like super wise, super empathic, super sensitive beings who are able to take in so much energy from the world around them and be these beautiful like chameleons and shapeshifters and try on all of these different ways of being. And when you're in the presence of a reflector, it's so profound because they're literally able to feel you, sense you, mirror back and reflect the things that you may not even be seeing or sensing or understanding about yourself. So in a one-to-one relationship with a reflector, it can provide this deep level of self-understanding for the other person. But then on a more broad collective level, reflectors are able to really sense like the health of the community, sense the health of the collective and what's going on for all of us, and be able to mirror and reflect that back in ways that help all of us to more deeply understand the context within which we're living and be able to make different shifts and changes that can be helpful for all of our sustainability and health and vibrancy.
I love everything that you share. And what really is fascinating to me is that every single human being is it's one type or another. And we all have that inherent gift. And there's a reason
Yes.
why we're all so different is because we were meant to come together as a whole, being who
Yes.
we are, right? So I'm a generator, you're a projector, and there's a reason why we are designed in such a way. Our soul has contracted
Yes.
somewhere in the universe that this is what we were meant to do, and we were meant to create something big, something great that would benefit everybody.
So beautiful. And I love how you shared that and really articulated that beautiful point. And I think what's really powerful too is, so when we talk about the 5 energy types, that's just the biggest and broadest category within the system of human design. So our unique energy type it does play a huge role in understanding like the aura, the energy body, the vehicle within which we're moving through the world. But then once we get into our individual charts, there's so much complexity and individuality and differentiation there that even like you and another generator in your life, your charts might be so incredibly different. And so you're similar in the way that it's important for you to respond to life, like through responding to your sacral. But in terms of your inner decision making authority, some of the gifts and strengths and qualities and essences your soul chose in this lifetime, the environments that are going to nourish you, the way of eating that's going to nourish you, like that might be completely different, even within someone that you share your energy type with. So just acknowledging too, I love how you're saying like our souls have created these soul contracts, right? That each and every one of us, we do have this really, really unique expression that we are here to embody and offer and share in this lifetime. And all of this is already baked into us. This is something that we already like completely holistically contain. And so something that I really love is being able to do human design chart readings and sessions with folks, because when I reflect back to them or share different parts of their human design, 9.9 times out of 10, it's not like new groundbreaking information. It's just people being like, yes, intuitively I knew this, like this is so true. Just thank you for reflecting it back, for speaking it in this way where I can really have a conscious awareness and understanding of this as an aspect of who I am, so I can really honor it and celebrate it and bring it to the forefront, instead of having that self-doubt or judging it or trying to hide it or think it's weird or think it's not real. There's all these different ways that we experience ourselves and can sometimes have harsh, inner conversations and concepts of ourselves. And so being able to really start to fall in love with our uniqueness and fall in love with our design is something that has been, one of my favorite aspects of this system.
It feels very powerful. It feels powerful that you get to choose how you want to be and what do you want to do with the rest of the lifetime that you have. And
Yes.
we're all here with very limited time, no matter how long, 100 years, 50 years, whatever it is, that you were meant to do something about what you have. So I think having that
Yes.
awareness, and by being able to reflect, what is it I'm truly good at, and what can I offer to benefit everybody. I think that is the ultimate lessons and journey that we all have to be on.
Yes, so
Yeah.
true. And I think, one of the things that can cause us the most pain and cause us the most struggle is feeling as though we don't have a purpose, or there isn't something valuable that we have to offer. And so being able to I think for me, like something that's been really supportive is even just having regular check-ins with my chart, and like regular check-ins with my incarnation cross, which is a part of our human design that really speaks to the blended energies that our soul chose as themes for our soul's purpose in this lifetime. It's just being able to plug into that reminder of like, this is why I'm here, this is what I'm here to do, can be so empowering and so grounding, versus it can be so easy to get distracted and pulled into the energies and the forces outside of us that would tell us that it's more important to, place others' expectations and priorities and desires above our own, or in order to be successful, I need to chase these things or be more like this person. When in actuality, and through what the system of human design teaches us, is that we get to be our most fulfilled, our most energized, our most successful, our most abundant, the more that we shed all of these layers of conditioning and societal programming and tune into who it is we are at a soul level. That's where we get to source our abundance from.
Beautiful, beautiful. And speaking of abundance, you have something amazing going on. Actually, we have something amazing going on.
Yes, collaborations. And
Yay!
so I'm so excited to be able to share that coming up next Tuesday, launching on June 1st, we'll be sharing the Soulful Abundance Festival, which is a 14-day virtual free series where I'm going to be interviewing folks like Michelle, who are visionaries, leaders, healers, coaches, artists, all working in the space of community building, creating capacity for us to be able to show up and live in the world in ways that are more aligned with our soul. And I'm so excited because, through the process of conducting all of these interviews, it was obviously like so fun, so amazing. As you shared, I love like the different ways that we've been able to connect with like-minded, like-hearted folks, even in this space of the pandemic, even in this space of disconnection. But what's been really profound is now, like, having most of the interviews finished, now I'm in the space of editing them a little bit, like adding the intro clip at the beginning, making sure things are looking good. And listening to the interviews back this time, I'm like, whoa, there are such powerful stories. So being able to hear each speaker's own healing journey and story is so inspiring and so empowering, for one, but then also being able to tap into the wisdom that they're sharing through their work, through their frameworks, through how they offer of their soul gifts to the world. It's just been landing with me in a new way. Like when I was in the heat of the moment of conducting the interview, there were certain things that I missed that now I'm integrating, and I'm like, this is incredible. And I just feel so excited about the opportunity to share this far and wide. And so for people who are interested in signing up, it is super easy. You get to just visit soulfulabundancefestival.com, sign up with your first name and your email, and then you're good to go. You're looped in to start receiving the interviews daily in your inbox when we go live on June 1st.
Yay! And this is like beyond and above. So I am actually dropping the link of people coming to my, my section, because I will be speaking at the festival, and there it is, so those of you who's in the group, just go to the group, and the link is actually down below in the comment section, and you can just click on the link and signed up, and every single day for the next 14 days, starting on June 1st, you get interviews sent into your inbox. How cool is that?
You get interviews, and then you're also going to get some free gifts sprinkled throughout those 2 weeks as well.
I think sprinkle is kind of understatement. I think it's more like a shower.
A shower.
You get a shower of gifts.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
That's what abundance is about. It's about shower you with gifts and insights and all these great information from the speaker everywhere.
Yes. So beautiful.
Yeah. I feel like I can talk to you forever.
I know. I've enjoyed this so much, Michelle.
Me too. Well, tell us where we can find you, even though I keep dropping your link.
Yes. And so for folks who are interested in learning more, you can find me on Instagram at b.more.connected. I also have a Facebook group, which will be super live, super poppin' once the summit gets started on June 1st. So you can find us over at Soulful Abundance Festival 2021 to be able to join that Facebook group and be a part of the engagement, the conversation, the dialogue, going deeper around the summit. And I think we have just over like 550 people in there right now, which is so exciting. Come and join us. And then just my main website where you can find me if you're interested in going deeper around human design, booking a reading, learning more. You can find me at bemoreconnected.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, just be more connected and go check her out. She is superstar, amazing energy, and not to mention, just full of abundance. And check out her group, because I'm in that group, and there's a lot of things that she's doing already just to kick you off to June 1st. So be sure to check out the Soulful Abundance Festival. That's where I'm going to be speaking at, and that's where you're going to find Elyse. And just amazing abundance.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. It's always so great to be able to be in your presence. And I'm so, so excited for this collaboration and to be able to share out the Soulful Abundance Festival next week.
Yay! I can't wait to kick it off. Yes. All right. So stay tuned. I wanted to, talk to you afterwards, and we'll, just do a little coffee talk. Well, thank you everyone for watching another episode of Live Coffee Talk. Hopefully you found out more about which type you are on the human design. And if you're interested, be sure to check out Elyse Preston at bemoreconnected.net. And next week, I will have another amazing guest to bring you more information and topics on love, courage, and connection. So stay with me, come back. Always check in. If you haven't followed me already, be sure to click on that like and follow on Facebook and YouTube. And I will see everyone next week. Bye, everyone.